In a world of politics, the battlefield isn't just fought with policies, votes, or debates. It's fought with stories. The power to craft, maintain, and control a narrative is what makes or breaks a political figure. And when it comes to mastering narrative warfare, there's one man who stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that's Donald Trump. In this episode, we're going to break down how Trump didn't just win a campaign, he won the narrative war. From media manipulation to meme power to outrage as strategy, Trump redefined the political game. This is a story of chaos used as control. Every narrative starts with defining the enemy. And for Donald Trump, the enemy was clear: the establishment and the media. Trump didn't just run against Hillary Clinton or the Democratic Party in 2016. He ran against the entire political system, the Washington elite, the career politicians, and most importantly, the media that he claimed was rigged against him. This is where Trump's genius began, by reframing his opponents. They weren't just political rivals. They were the enemy of the American people. The establishment, in Trump's eyes, was out of touch, corrupt, and only serving their own interests. But it wasn't enough to just say this. Trump framed the media as the enemy. They weren't just reporting the news. They were fake news. They weren't journalists. They were the enemy of the people. And in doing so, Trump didn't just criticize his opponents. He delegitimized them.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
I want to be nasty. Do you mind? Do you mind? We're going to have the wall. We're building the wall. We're building the wall, folks. We're building the wall.
I am more for the military, and I am the most militaristic person in this room. I would have a military that's so strong that we would never have to use it.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win. A movement that even our enemies back there, look at all that press, among the most dishonest people in the world. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. The dishonest media, which has published one false story after another. We went through the greatest witch hunt in political history. The only collusion was committed by the Democrats. How do you think Hillary would feel if emails were never invented? Would she be happy? If she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. And I would say that Hillary is highly overrated.
But Bill Clinton sexually assaulted innocent women, and Hillary Clinton attacked those women viciously.
Bill Clinton was the worst abuser of women ever to sit in the Oval Office. He was a predator.
Seriously, how do you lie to the FBI and now you're running for president?
The Clintons are criminals. Remember that. They're criminals. Honestly, she should be locked up. President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS, okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton. That the Clinton campaign has paid people to disrupt violently our rallies and to incite absolute total bedlam. Are you back there, darling? Who's protesting? Anybody? Oh, get out of here. Get him out. Get him out. Out. Get out. Out. By the way, is there any place that's more fun or creative to be than a Trump rally, right? I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. I will build the greatest wall. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
And I accept your invitation to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America.
Now, once the enemy was defined, Trump moved on to creating his frame. A frame is how you shape your story, how you control the narrative around your actions, and for Trump, that frame was Make America Great Again. You see, the power of the MAGA brand wasn't just in the slogan, it was the emotional connection it sparked. It wasn't just about policy, it was about nostalgia. It was about making people feel like they could take back control of a country that was slipping away from them. Make America Great Again tapped into a sense of disillusionment with the current state of the country. It appealed to those who felt left behind by the political establishment, by globalization, by social change. It was more than a slogan, it was a movement. You see, Trump didn't just present himself as a candidate, he presented himself as a savior, the person who could restore America's former glory. He reframed America's greatness, not as something that was built, but something that had been lost. And he, Donald Trump, was the man who could bring it back.
Get your Trump hats, Trump hats.
I trust, he's going to make America great,
What better way to support him than buy a hat?
I think they brought some divisiveness, but I think they made people pay attention, made people wake up.
I got him for 20, he's got him for 30 right there.
This is the hottest thing out there. This hat, you can't get him.
Thank you, and God bless America.
I had a meeting with him in December. It was before the end of the year, before he was going to head down to Mar-a-Lago. And he had decided at that point he was going to run. He said one of the worst things he ever saw was Mitt Romney trying to push the cart with the jeans on. He's like, that's not the way people want to look at a president.
Mitt Romney ran from his wealth and hid from his wealth. And we knew that part of our strategic value was to actually go and talk about the success that Donald Trump has had and show that that's what the American people want.
Over the years, I've created tens of thousands of jobs, and I'm very proud of that. I think it's great.
It was a smart lesson to take away from the 2012 campaign. One of the problems in that race was that the campaign talked to the American people as if they were sitting in an economics class.
I have 5 things I'm going to do, and
rather than living in the day-to-day struggles or challenges presented by the economy.
We don't win. We don't win at anything.
He was in that chair, that iconic chair he has in his office on the 26th floor of Trump Tower, and he looked up and he said, my slogan is going to be Make America Great Again. And he looked up at the ceiling with a smirk on his face and he said, and watch, everybody's going to love it. And he was right.
And we will make America great again.
It was still really unclear where the Trump campaign was going to go because it was going off in so many different directions. He was already insulting his fellow Republicans in a way that we'd never seen before of anybody running for anything of any party.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
Do you agree with that?
He's a war hero.
I think somebody actually sent us a sample and said, hey, here's an idea, and it just said Make America Great Again in the hat. And they brought that sample to Donald Trump, and he said, I like it, but let's tweak this, let's do it differently.
The hat itself, did we focus group the hat? No. It was really a coup, and it's one of those things you never know in a campaign that certainly just like clicked.
You had to find a US vendor to make these. It sounds overly simplistic, but it wasn't. We had to go all the way to California. We had actually tried a series of different hats and different letters and different sizes of those before we actually agreed. When I say we, he specifically chose the exact one he wanted, and then we tried it, and it was very, very successful. It was over 100 degrees on the tarmac down there. You know, just for the sweat factor and other things, he chose to wear the hat.
And he just said, well, I'm going to just wear regular type leisure wear, which for Donald Trump, that's leisure wear, right? He doesn't wear jeans or shorts.
We're waiting inside the terminal. It was a crush of reporters, a crush of cameras. He came around the corner and we all went,
hello everybody.
Because we'd never seen him in a baseball hat before, and certainly never seen him in a hat that said, Make America Great Again. It was the first time we'd seen the brand emblazoned on his head. I really remember it vividly because it was like, oh, of course, he's the master marketer. Why wouldn't he put it on a hat?
I'm the one that brought up the problem of illegal immigration.
He's talking about border security. He's already lost Apprentice. He's lost other deals, millions and millions of dollars. And he's just going out there. One, he's having fun. Two, he's standing up for what he believes in. And three, he looks, I frequently thought, cool.
We have to have legal immigration.
And I started to say, hey, send me the red hats. Send me the white hats. I want to see on a daily, weekly, monthly basis what we're doing. We started to look at these numbers and said, is this right? It's like the campaign, right? It just grows so quickly. It's just a disruptive technology. The hats are so disruptive that people who weren't involved in politics, that didn't have a political background, wanted to show their support for something different. And their way to do that was to buy hats.
This is the best goddamn country on earth, and these hats represent that. Yeah.
There was this great comment by Barack Obama in 2008 election. I remember he said, I'm like the Rorschach test. People support me for many reasons. And you had hope, you had change, and you had that iconic t-shirt. And that was the shirt, and that was what you had to own, that cycle. And it was the cool thing because it went outside of politics.
Donald Trump's symbol is his hair. I mean, that's what the cartoonists delight, is his orange or golden or whatever you want to call his locks. But the fact that the hat's connected to the Trump head is part of what's going on there.
What's really interesting about the hat as an object and as a message, as a visual, is that it was undesigned. It was simply just two colors chosen, the red color, the white color, the type. And the type was very default. And yet, that's the thing, that's the takeaway, that's the thing that people gravitated towards. We're not sitting here talking about Trump's logo, we're talking about the hat, which completely transcended the logo.
That's the kind of cap that farmers and truck drivers and other folks around the country wear every day, especially in more rural areas. He was a big city multi-billionaire who was the son of a millionaire, but he was able to identify with this constituency in part because of the cap, in part because he was willing to say, look, we share something, we share this important symbol of how you go about your daily life.
I remember he was criticized throughout the campaign, especially towards the general election, saying you're spending more money on hats than you are on data, on voter ID. It's something that's not going to be replicated the same way hope and change cannot be replicated. That hat was a voter contact. That hat was a walking billboard. That hat was a walking statement. And because of the way the election was so contentious, that hat meant a lot.
Donald Trump! Hey, I got Trump bucks, you wanna burn one of these?
It invited attacks from the left in a way that fit right into what I think the Trump campaign and the Trump organization wanted, which is a clash of those two political civilizations that they both believed worked in their favor.
These crowds are terrific. Thank you very much.
That's exactly what they wanted. Somebody who wasn't going to back down in the face of political pressure. And he proved that in myriad ways, one of which was continuing to wear the hat even when people in New York and Washington were laughing about it.
I should have given up, but I never gave up, right? Never, ever give up. Never stop believing.
Mr. Trump signs a lot of hats, and he knows the difference. He knows the difference between an official Donald Trump hat and then the knockoffs. He'd say to me, out of 10 hats I sign, 8 of them are one of the knockoffs. He's like, how do we get those guys? He would wear the hat and he'd throw it into the audience. And people would clamor for those. It was like a rock star taking a guitar pick and throwing it into the audience.
In this case, I think it's clear that Trump or whoever came up with this idea had a really good instinct that proved to be important. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't go overboard in our admiration for the Trump campaign.
The hat just seems like a stamp of approval for someone who doesn't stand for you and what America stands for.
If I'm passing somebody on the street who's wearing that hat, I feel like they almost said like, hey, by the way, I oppose everything you believe in and stand for.
The reality is, on a national basis, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Not too many people are running for president trying to lose the popular vote and just eke out that narrow electoral vote win.
Historians, we look at artifacts a lot for our livelihood. If I were ever going to design a Trump presidential library and somebody said, what's the artifact you most want?
This is actually one of the main reasons he won the campaign, because he made up the stupid hat.
I would say the original hat of Donald Trump's under glass, because the whole campaign can be summed up in his collected Twitters and that ball cap.
Once the frame was set, it was time to deploy the story, and Trump's deployment of his narrative is nothing short of a masterclass. The key to his success wasn't just getting his message out, it was getting it out to the masses in a way that bypassed traditional media channels. You see, Trump didn't rely solely on television or speeches to deliver his message. He leveraged social media, particularly Twitter, as a direct channel to the American people. His tweets weren't just policy updates. They were cultural events. Each tweet, each message became a news cycle. By using Twitter, Trump didn't just communicate with his followers. He controlled the conversation. Every tweet was a bombshell that the media had no choice but to cover. But Trump didn't stop there. He understood the power of memes in the digital age. He became the king of meme warfare, turning viral moments into political currency. Whether it was a viral video or a funny image, or a controversial statement, Trump used memes to engage and enrage, all while staying at the center of public discourse.
Okay, see, there is a reason actually that Donald tweets so much. He does it to distract the media from his business conflicts and all the very scary people in his cabinet.
Oh, that does make sense.
He was actually very busy on Twitter this morning.
Unsubstantiated Twitter claims.
Very short, simple tweet.
This is why Trump's tweets on China matter.
We have this breaking news just into CNN. President-elect Trump just agreed to settle a lawsuit for $25 million.
We are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us.
President-elect Trump tweeted the cast should apologize to Mr. Pence for being rude.
Surprisingly, the buzziest political story of the weekend, not about who will be in the new administration, it's about what happened Friday night on Broadway. Donald Trump back on Twitter again this morning, 6:23 a.m.
The New York Times just did a deep dive into Donald Trump's global businesses and how it could intersect with his presidency. We are in unprecedented territory here.
Andre, why is the president-elect spending his day on Twitter spreading false claims and arguing that he won the popular vote?
Well, another tweet from the president-elect is raising a lot of eyebrows. The president-elect writes, quote, "Nobody should be allowed to burn the American flag."
It's his loyalty that was a critical part of Trump's decision to pick him as national security advisor.
This is a guy who the intelligence community regards not only as temperamentally unsuited for the job, but possibly compromised.
Trump tweeting his displeasure shortly thereafter, so a new twist there in the ongoing Trump Twitter saga. But there is more substantive political news out there this morning.
He's going right to the establishment for picking his cabinet. This could annoy his base. So what's he do? He throws something out for the base. He says, oh, by the way, I'm going to take away your citizenship if you burn the flag.
Every narrative faces attacks, and Trump's story was no different. The media and his political rivals were constantly attacking him, trying to discredit his ideas, his personality, and even his legitimacy as a candidate. But here's where Trump's narrative genius really came through. He didn't just react to attacks, he weaponized them. When the media called him a liar, he turned it into a badge of honor. Fake news became his rallying cry. He didn't just dismiss the media, he turned the media's attacks into a part of his narrative. He'll say things like, "They're lying about me. but you know the truth. Or I'm fighting for you against the corrupt system. You see, Trump understood that attacks could be leveraged as tools to reinforce his narrative. Every insult, every criticism reinforced his identity as the outsider, the fighter against the establishment.
Look, between you people, don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way. Go ahead, take the. Well, I'll give you voters. I will give you voter suppression. You just have to sit down, please. Sit down. I didn't call you. Okay, question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. How many cases were in the United States when I did my ban? How many people had died in the United States?
So do you acknowledge that you didn't think
Keep your voice down, please. Keep your voice down.
Do you want him to rein in Robert Mueller?
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
You didn't let me ask my question.
You've been asking a question for 10 minutes. So please sit down.
The argument is that you bought yourself some time and you didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing. Right now,
You're so
20 million people
disgraceful.
are unemployed.
It's so disgraceful the way you say that. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake. And most of you, and not all of you, but the people are wise to you. That's why you have a lower approval rating than you've ever had before, times probably 3.
What do you say the Americans were scared, though? I guess nearly 200 dead, 14,000 who are sick, millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. Go ahead.
You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said
why don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said
why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My question to you is
get you. And you know what? That's why nobody trusts the media anymore.
My question to you is, how is that going to impact?
Excuse me, you didn't hear me. That's why you used to work for the Times and now you work for somebody else. Look, let me tell you something. Be nice. Don't
Mr.
be
President,
threatening.
my question is...
Don't be threatening. Let's give it a shot.
Governor Cuomo, as you played in that clip, has indeed praised a lot of what the federal government has done, but he...
Excuse me. He didn't say a lot. He said we did a phenomenal job. He didn't say a lot. He didn't say you did a good job on ventilators but nothing else. No, he said we did a phenomenal job. So report accurately, because you are one of the most inaccurate reporters. Those people have been just absolutely excoriated by some of the fake news, like you. You're CNN, you're fake news. And let me just tell you, they were excoriated by people like you that don't know any better because you don't have the brains you were born with.
Sir, why are you saying that to me specifically?
I'm telling you. I'm not saying it specifically to anybody. I'm saying it to anybody that would ask a nasty question like that.
That's not a nasty question.
Please go ahead.
Why does it matter?
Okay. Anybody else? Please, go ahead in the back, please.
I have 2 questions.
No, it's okay.
But you pointed to me. I have 2 questions, Mr. President.
Next, please.
But you called on me.
I did, and you didn't respond, and now I'm calling on
Sorry, I just
the young lady in the back, please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish,
Okay.
but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Once Trump won, his victory wasn't just about policies. It was about locking down the victory and reinforcing his narrative. He didn't just take the presidency, he solidified his brand. Even after his win, Trump kept his message alive. His campaign wasn't just about the election, it was about building a movement. He continued holding rallies. He kept engaging with his supporters. He kept reinforcing the MAGA movement as a way of life, not just a political slogan. And of course, when he lost the 2020 election, Trump's ability to stay in the conversation allowed him to continue his influence, making sure that his narrative of election fraud dominated the post-election period.
On this special edition of Nightline, we're taking a look at the election that shocked the world. Donald J. Trump, a real estate magnate and reality star with zero government or military experience, will soon be our 45th president. How did he pull this off? Why did so many pundits and pollsters fail to see it coming? And what happens next? We begin here tonight with ABC's Terry Moran.
They said he couldn't do it. They said he wasn't qualified. Even the polls seemed to give him no chance. But early this morning,
the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
The man who so often hurled invective during the campaign.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Sounding positively, well, presidential.
I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans. And this is so important to me.
A historic moment. For the first time ever, Americans elected a commander-in-chief who had no prior experience in government or in the military. It was a bombshell so many didn't see coming.
Words cannot describe how shell-shocked the Clinton campaign is right now. They were celebrating the night before on that last campaign flight from Raleigh to New York. They were celebrating drinking champagne.
Donald Trump was being advised that he would have to concede. He was being told early in the day that he was likely not going to win this election.
So why was the polling so wrong? Well, the polls were very tight, but there's two data points to look at. One, white men without a four-year college degree came out for Donald Trump in historic numbers. And millions of Democrats who voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, they did not come out on Election Day for Hillary Clinton or at all.
As Speaker of the House and longtime Trump critic Paul Ryan admitted,
Donald Trump heard a voice out in this country that no one else heard. He connected in ways with people no one else did. He turned politics on its head.
The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer.
Some of those forgotten men and women today sounding jubilant across the country.
I'm happy. My husband woke me up at 3 a.m. this morning. I was shocked, but happy.
How you feeling this morning?
I am happy.
And why is that?
The president. And he's not a politician, a businessman. And he promised to feed the people, something she never did.
I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic tonight that Donald Trump has won. I almost can't believe it. I really thought, we were going to be looking at a big Hillary landslide tonight.
But the victory particularly felt in the parts of the country hardest hit by the recession. How many of you have been affected by job loss? Pretty much everybody. Nightline had visited this class in rural Pennsylvania a few weeks ago, where students were holding mock elections, and they felt their voices and those of their often out-of-work parents or friends were not being heard. How are we gonna run the country together?
Why don't we split the country into two different countries?
Well, they tried that. That didn't work in the Civil War. Today, that girl, Brooke is her name, and her class full of hope for what a Trump presidency might do for them.
He is going to bring back jobs that were taken away.
Trump understood that there were people who felt left out by the government, left out by business, left out by culture, left out by everybody, and he was including them.
But the force that elected Trump and reaffirmed Republican control of Congress was broader than just people who have lost their jobs.
He didn't get blown out among women, and he did do well among Latinos compared to the previous candidate, Mitt Romney.
And those voters not necessarily voting along purely ideological grounds.
But they also went for some of the most liberal ballot initiatives that you can imagine. Voters went for a higher minimum wage in a bunch of states. Voters voted to legalize marijuana. So I think you saw ticket splitting of a unique sort that didn't really follow any ideology.
Crooked Hillary takes their money like a big sellout.
The Trump campaign drew support from the wealthy, too. Consider the Trumpettes, women like Rhonda Shear, who say they've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for his campaign.
Okay, just got off the plane. It's so exciting.
Earning a ticket to Trump's victory party.
We were in the VIP ballroom. Now we're in the main ballroom with all the real people.
And this morning, still exuberant after a night celebrating, hopeful that her candidate will unite the country.
Right now, Donald Trump needs to get this country back together, and he's going to do that. All the people that have been so scared about the things that he's going to do, they're going to be so happy because they're going to realize it's going to be like this and prosperity.
The sun is up, and I know everybody had a long night. I did as well.
Donald Trump has said he wants to repudiate much of the Obama legacy, but today the president asking America to give Trump a chance, while gently reminding the president-elect about the values he needs to remember.
A sense of unity, a sense of inclusion, a respect for our institutions, and a respect for each other. I hope that he maintains that spirit throughout this transition, and I certainly hope that's how his presidency has a chance to begin.
For Trump, now comes the work of putting together a team. Some early hints of who that might be up on the stage with him last night.
He's had so few political pros around him. I mean, there's Chris Christie, and there's Rudy Giuliani, and there's Newt Gingrich, and there's Senator Jeff Sessions. Once you get beyond that list, it's hard to imagine who he populates an administration with.
One of the things his transition team is going to have to navigate, the president-elect's impending court date, defending himself against allegations of fraud in his dealings with Trump University. But his team's efforts will mostly focus on pushing ahead his ambitious agenda.
Donald Trump will get a choice on the Supreme Court automatically because of the one vacancy that will not be filled before he takes office.
During the campaign, Trump promised a long list of the things he plans to do.
We're going to build a wall. But Obamacare has to go. A Trump administration will renegotiate NAFTA.
Mexico's going to pay for the wall. They don't know it yet.
I will knock the hell out of ISIS.
We will suspend the Syrian refugee program.
We will double our growth and have the strongest economy anywhere in the world.
It's hard to find major issues outside of maybe tax reform where Donald Trump and Paul Ryan, for instance, see eye to eye. So I think there's a coalition government between conservative Republicans, people like Paul Ryan, like Mitch McConnell, and populist Republicans like Donald Trump.
However contentious, whatever comes next, this president-elect began this next chapter of his incredible journey with inclusion.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division. Have to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people.
Donald Trump didn't just run a campaign. He created a narrative revolution. From defining his enemies, creating the MAGA brand, and deploying memes and social media, to managing the counter-narrative and reinforcing his narrative post-victory, Trump has reshaped what it means to be a political figure in modern America. It wasn't just about policy. It was about storytelling. Trump won because he owned the story. If you want to learn more about the power of narrative warfare and how politicians shape public perception, make sure you hit subscribe and join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next breakdown, here on Politics or Power.
Facts don't win wars. Strategies do.